Good afternoon, Toasters. Hope everything is good. Welcome to the channel, the Toast to the Men Network with your guy S.D. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's go. So I've been seeing a lot of news, social media news, concerning Cardone. He's a real estate investor, I guess you would say public or motivational speaker, and he's really blown up. I would say, well, I've seen him blow up, I'd say the last 5 years. He made some comments, I don't know if they're disparaging or just matter of fact. I don't know. You decide that, but he made some comments concerning his audience, his target market, which is primarily the black community. And he says he talks down, in essence, he talks down in hood terms and hip hop terms to this audience because they don't understand the other way of communication. I guess a par level of communication. Or a prototypical way to communicate. And a lot of people are upset about it. A lot of black people are upset about that. But really, they should be upset with themselves. They invested time, faith, money, energy into this man when he really doesn't respect you as an equal. He doesn't really respect you as a full human being, a respectable human being. Case in point, to support that statement, he's on record, he's on video, joking with Patrick Bet David, another social media presence. He's in the insurance business. Well, he's on record, on video, joking with him about wanting to be able to say the N-word. He said that's the last step he needs to get to be able to say the N-word. He deserves that. And from my point of view, Patrick Bet David was somewhat uncomfortable, but he didn't speak up. He didn't give it any resistance. He didn't check it. And that's another man that taps into the black market, black culture, and poaches and pulls out what he can get. People really need to check themselves and ask themselves, why was I attracted, was I drawn to these guys? Grant, specifically, why was I drawn to him? And if you look deeper, you'll realize that you've always been drawn to guys like this, white guys. And then not just white guys in general, but white guys with flamboyant personalities that appear that they haven't made, that talk down to you, that talk that hood lingo with you, that joke with you. Why are you drawn in like that? We gotta have more discernment. And that's one of our main problems in the black community. We look too much on the outside. We like glitter. We like extravagance, things that are robust. We like those things. And we don't look beyond the surface. We don't look deeper. We have no spiritual discernment. Everything is based on the exterior and not the interior. Because We don't know self. We're not intact with self. We don't have a good, healthy relationship with our own spirit. That's why we can't discern when people mean us no good. Not only that, when you have a portion of the black community that I think, maybe consciously, but I think for the most part subconsciously, look for validation from the white man. They look for approval from the white man. And they won't buy into something unless a white man is selling it. You have a lot of people like that. And this is harmful. This is harmful for the world, the community. It's harmful. And I know I always say that we are one human race. That's correct. One race, the human race. But on the lower level, I can't deny, I can't act like I'm blind to that we're segmented and there are races and subcultures and subgroups amongst or within the human race. That's just what it is. And you have to move accordingly when you're aware of this stuff, when you know this is just what it is. On the macro, on a micro level, on a macro level perspective, yeah, it's one human race, but not everyone thinks like that. So you have to be aware of that not everyone's going to think how you think, and you got to know how to move within this world accordingly. And Grant has said some other, controversial things in regards to race relations and black people over the years. And people have overlooked it. He hasn't been called out on it. And the fact of the matter is, he's still going to be able to poach and tap into that market, that black market, and make money. That's just what it is. I really don't feel any way about it. I'm not angry, because he's not talking to me. But I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in that group, that pool of black people who continually get bamboozled with glitter and shiny things and can never look deeper and have discernment, spiritual discernment of what's right for them. That's sad. That's the sad part. That's just what it is, man. You see on social media when there's a video of a white person doing hip hop or doing soul music at a high level, you'll see people, black people in the comments say, hey, they're invited to the cookout, they're invited to the barbecue. Or I'm down with Mark because Mark's down with us. Looking for approval, looking for acceptance. But on the flip side, I think a vast majority of white people are not self-aware or aware that they do have a certain amount of privilege in the majority in America. They do possess a certain level of privilege, born into it in America. And so they're not aware of this and not self-aware. And so they'll do and say things that are insensitive, that are ignorant, because they're not aware. Well, and that's, like I said, that's a pool. I think a majority of whites. That's not all. And we got a lot of white brothers in the power circle, headed by, my brother Immortal Minds had a lot of white brothers in there. And, I think they're part of a different pool, white men, part of a different pool. But you can't blame Grant. You can't blame the white man. At some point, you have to look within and check yourself. You really gotta look within. So you get, or Where you draw, you attract what you are. If you're insecure, you're going to draw that kind of energy. If you're unaware, not awake, you're going to draw that kind of energy. If you're ignorant, you're going to draw that kind of energy. So, hey, look within. Look within, you know, and for total transparency, I actually auditioned months ago. I think this was I don't know, it was last year. I auditioned for Cardone's public speaking contest, and I made it to the second round. When it was time to go to the third round, go to Miami, they hit me with, you know, I would have to pay everything and pay them something to enter the third round. I had to pay them an amount of money. And I really didn't have a problem with that. I almost did it. I mean, I was close to doing it. I was close to doing it, paying that money. I think it was like $3,000. I was close, or maybe more. I was close. I was so close to doing it. But something in me said, nah, I just don't like the feel of this. I don't like the feel of it. But even before the contest, there was something in me saying, there's something ain't right with his energy, with the whole thing. I think he talks in circles. I think he tries too hard to be hood, to appear that he's on black people's side. There's something wrong with that. Just be yourself. But the contest came up, and I'm like, hey man, this is an opportunity to really, you know, sharpen my skills and get out there and get known. But even when there was some discomfort, but I went through it, made it to the second round. And like I said, man, I almost gave him that bread. Man, I was so close. I'm talking about I was close to giving him that bread. But then I said, let me sleep on it. I woke up, I said, nah. Fast forward, all this stuff comes to fruition. All this stuff comes to light. The video, the statement, all this comes to light. So I'm glad I really did invest fully into his brand like that. I have no quarrel with Grant. You know, Grant's being Grant. You can't change people. You just gotta move differently. And like I said, man, we have to tap into our spiritual selves, our higher self, and we'll have more spiritual and character discernment, who to deal with, who to connect with. Until then, black people will always be drawn to and connect and follow people like Grant. This is nothing new. This is nothing new, man. And so, I changed the mind, changed the spirit, and your life will change, your experiences will change. That's what I got, Toasters. Let me know what you think. From me to you, always love. Peace.